It was a real shock because I felt well. I had no symptoms. It was found by accident. So I was very lucky in that respect. But hearing the word cancer, I think is always going to come as a shock. My name is Sully. After my time in the RAF as a chef, I continued with that profession in total for 21 years. I decided to change my career and I retrained myself as a sports massage therapist, which is what I do now. When I turned 60, I was invited in for a Wellman check, where they test cholesterol and blood pressure, that sort of thing. The phlebotomist ticked the box for PSA levels by mistake, and through that mistake it was discovered that my PSA levels were really high, which is the hormone that your prostate gives off. After considerable tests, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. The initial shock, obviously, of being told you got cancer, well, once you get over that, the reality of what is to come then kicks in. Doing the maths of how we were going to pay the bills, at a time where bills were increasing massively. It was a time of year when we would need the heating on, the cost of food, because not only was I worrying about the forthcoming operation and the fact that I had cancer, I was worrying about the income I was going to lose, how we were going to pay the mortgage and the bills. And even though my husband's working, it wouldn't have been enough to do all that. The recovery period, they told me a minimum of 8 weeks. I took 8 weeks, but I went back on a phased return. I didn't go back full time. I couldn't. I was tired. I tried the government route first. There was no help. If you're self-employed, it's quite difficult. So, knowing about the RAF Association from my time in the RAF, I discussed it with my husband and decided to reach out to them to see if they could help in any way. And when they came back and offered us the grant, it took that pressure away, and it enabled me then to just concentrate on what was coming and how I was going to get better from it. If the RAF Association had not helped with that grant, I think my recovery would have taken longer. We all know that recovery, stress, they don't work well together. The stress over finances sort of disappeared. It was still going to be tough, but it wasn't going to be as tough. It helped my husband as much as it helped me. Baz had to do everything for a number of weeks. He was working full time. He was looking after me. He was running the house. I could barely walk for the first couple of weeks. So taking that financial burden off helped him as much as it helped me. Life is good now. It puts a different perspective on life going through something like this. It makes you appreciate maybe things that you didn't quite appreciate as much before, and time with your friends and family being one of the most important things. I've managed to reduce my working week to 4 days from 5, so I have more time. It just puts a different spin on things, and life's good.